Hi, I'm Angela. This video has a sneaky title, Marriage or Soulmate? What's the difference? I think today's understanding of marriage and long-term commitment is going through a challenge because of some of the ideas of soulmates, of having someone that is destined or somehow compulsively meant to be your partner. And there have been other authors and writers on love that talk about romance as being perhaps not a very helpful concept to sustain relationships and marriage. But I'm looking at more why. Why do we have this obsession with soulmate versus marriage? Because it is quite a new age fashion and attraction. And I have noticed on the forums out there in Facebook that a lot of people are looking for the so-called twin flames. They want this soulmate bond, but they don't talk as much about marriage. And of course, I think romantically some people connect the two, but my interest is why? Why are people so fixated on meeting some twin flame or soulmate versus being so excited by traditionally what people used to be compulsively interested in was finding a partner to get married. And if you think about soulmates as well, that word was used for thousands of years, but it's become a very popular culture word as well. So I started to look at this from a point of view that marriage as an institution has a lot of trappings of history attached to it. And if you've grown up in the last 40, 50 years, you probably had your parents go through divorce or relatives go for divorce, or you're watching your relatives or friends getting divorced, or you've been divorced. So marriage itself has got a bad rap in the last 40 to 50 years. Marriage has been around for a very long time, and it's always been known as something that kind of held families together and the fabric of society together. But it doesn't the last 40 to 50 years. And even traditional cultures that use marriage as a way to bond families, such as India, they're looking for different models now from pre-arranged marriage. They still love that model, but they're looking for romance as well. And they use a lot of ideas of destined soulmates that you're meant to be destined to as part of their whole romantic Bollywood themes as well. So I found this fascinating that somehow, with the decline of marriage as an institution that we trust, as a culture, and perhaps individually, we've looked to a different idea to give us something to trust in, to believe in, to have faith in, to get romantic about, to pine away about at night when you're alone, to think about, there could be that someone out there who's my soulmate or twin flame. And that's where I'm seeing is the thoughts and the feelings of people going. We are raised on fairy tales, romance and love stories, not just as kids, but all of our pop music has love as a major theme in it, or thwarted love and breakup. So think about all of this as the fuel towards this desperate need to get soulmate connection. And if I was to say how helpful is the soulmate connection versus marriage, I think it's actually not really helping us, because it doesn't look at why marriages didn't work and how we can actually make marriages work in a way that's really fun. So I think to look at the soulmate connection, if you are single and you're looking for that soulmate, to look at it more as a way of discovering how to share yourself, whether it's with one person or you might need a different way to share yourself. Some people benefit more from not just going straight into a one-on-one relationship, but going into a group where they can express something like a community service or any creative aspect of yourself, or just be vulnerable and open with other people in a way where you don't feel like you have to really commit. If you're single and looking for that soulmate thing, ask what is it that you really want from the soulmate, because I think one of the concerns I have about people now looking to this soulmate connection is that they tend to gloss over the practical details that marriage used to talk about, which are we going to be living together in the same house. And a lot of modern soulmate kind of destined compulsive relationships, often they come together and they split apart. And it gives us a lot of heartbreak because we've been looking for this soulmate and then they're in our lives for a weekend and gone. And it feels like your heart's cracked open. And if it sounds like I talk from experience, I have had that. Your heart gets cracked open and the person is out of your life. So it's very hard to resolve that when a part of you really just wants something more like a traditional marriage where the person's actually going to live with you or spend a big amount of time of their lives with you. So really, if you're looking for that soulmate connection, ask, what are the actual tangible things I want from that soulmate? What are they actually going to discover about me? What do I want to share with them? And spend some time feeling and exploring and playing and writing and listen to music and get all kind of imaginative about it. Because if you found a soulmate that somehow cracked your heart open, whether they stay with you or not is not really the purpose of a soulmate. A soulmate is always there to help you grow, but they're not always there to be a long-term partner. And that's the difference. Marriage is, when you look at marriage, the very definition of marriage is we're here to do it together. We're here to live on this earth together, and we're going to do it. We, as we know, don't know in the current climate of our world how long we'll be together, but we're here to commit to live together, build something together, perhaps have a family together, and certainly be a couple. So soulmate is, by definition, really someone who's here to help your soul grow, and that can be through heartbreak. It can be through also revealing to you some illusion that you have about love or about how a partner should be for you. So after this, I'm wondering if you're interested in having a marriage or a soulmate. They're not distinct, so you could have a soulmate as part of your marriage. And if you are looking for that, again, go into what is it that they're going to be actually doing with you in your living space? How many things will you be doing together? Will you be cooking together? Will you be in separate countries? Will you be together for some parts of the year? These are the things that are really good to explore at the imagination level, because some people are now looking at soulmate relationships very different from our traditional marriage relationships. And sometimes we get stuck in thinking that maybe a person who's come to help our soul grow has to fit into more traditional marriage structures where people lived together and did everything in the same house. And that may not be actually what's required for the new relationships that are coming onto the planet. Certainly, we definitely need people to be living together like they have for thousands of years, because that is the way that the species does grow. But other couples may have a different vision of that. So if you spend time to imagine what you would be doing with that soulmate, if you're calling that soulmate in, it's actually very helpful to start thinking, what would I be open to? Would I be open to living in different places or have different bedrooms? Or would I want to be working with my partner or not? These things are things to allow your imagination to expand. And also then when you meet the person, you can start discussing what they would like as well. So that's my take. Any questions about soulmates? I can do more videos on soulmates. There are a lot of information out there, and I have a much more simple view, which is a soulmate is here to help you grow. They're not necessarily a life partner or a romantic partner, but you can get those confused feelings. And when you work out what they're here to help you understand, you've got the secret to that relationship becoming a relationship that you can learn to love, or will help you to love better.